Society tend to establish first degree effects correlation when it comes to nutrition. The most engaging motive is the aesthetic one, by a long shot. What I mean is that someone to pay attention on what they eat is vast majority of the time based on certain body they're looking to achieve aesthetically, and most of the times towards losing fat. Great. The second motive, not as nearly close as the first one, that could also be appealing for someone to become aware of what they ingest, is when facing a imminent threat of an illness, of a condition where that change of habit could solve the problem or help considerably. The third one, less usual in general public, but very common in athletes, is to achieve performance. And you could tell that in second and third cases, it is almost like the only path you can take, because consider on the first one you're facing a life threat. Of course you're way more susceptible to change a habit, to live another day. And in the third one, you either eat well enough or you can't compete. It is what it is. Either way, the awareness is developed, but it's a fraction of the total population. You might say, oh, but look at the amount of new companies producing vitamins, supplements, organic stuff, the amount of people really looking after themselves and being careful when selecting what they ingest and their lifestyles. Yes, we see that, but isn't it just a bubble so far? You tell me, why hasn't the production of sugary sweets, processed foods, fast food decreased? That would be the case. But no, it's massive. The biggest corporations are not the ones producing the supposedly healthy meals and produce. That being said, let's understand the correlations of first and second degree. It is very obvious, but I just think that we haven't talked about it in that way. And it could be elucidative, especially for people who work with sports, but everyone else. It could really enhance the performance of someone's life at their jobs, at their hobbies, at their whatever lifestyle they have, because nutrition is a big factor of how we perform, how we feel, how we live. What would be a correlation of first degree? Let's take sports for instance. It is selecting an ingredient, selecting a meal. You always have the choice to eat this or that. So you select a meal based on the result you're going to obtain from it. Let's say you decide to eat beetroot, and it's known that beetroot will most likely increase your VO2 max, which is one of the measurements to express the endurance, the stamina you have in a competition, in a training session, in a fight, a game, etc. So you eat beetroot, you extend the time you can perform with no fatigue. That's significant. That could change the game, the result. That's a direct benefit. It's a no-brainer. You eat the beetroot, you get tired later on in the fight, in the game, in the competition, in the training session. But now, take another scenario. Before going to bed, there are plenty of examples I could use here that have scientific proof that they enhance sleep. But let's say the ones who are not allergic, if you eat walnuts before going to bed, most likely you will have a better quality of sleep, of recovery. So you will sleep better, you will replenish your body, your vital functions, and the next day your reflexes will be sharper. You will feel more focused. You'll feel fresh. You'll feel more ready to go compared to some day where you haven't slept that well. So you will have a better performance. But that's a second degree correlation, because you ate the walnuts that didn't necessarily give you better performance. They gave you better sleep, and the better sleep gave you better performance. For general public, this is an extreme challenge, because they cannot even select what they eat. I'm not judging. I understand it's a challenge. We are addicted, or at least have that habit too ingrained on us of eating sodas and chips and processed foods and so on. But let's say someone starts to use this this pattern of selecting their meals, first degree correlations. Before choose a meal, you go there and project the direct effect that meal is going to have immediately and later on. After doing that for some time, it becomes automatic. And then you move on to second degree correlations, up to a point where you are using third, fourth, fifth degree correlations while selecting your meals. And to me, this is the key. This is the key to nutrition. Of course, you want to have a good knowledge of uh, what this that ingredient can do to your body. You want to have a good knowledge of your own body, of your own capability of digest different types of foods that varies from person to person. This is all like base knowledge, but in practice, the game is the selection. You by yourself, you're there by yourself. You don't have a nutrition specialist with you all the time. You don't have a chef with you all the time. And even if you did, it would be wise to develop this ability to manage the process that is so important, with this miracle of transforming food into energy. This is the nutrition part of it, and this is the concept that I think it's overlooked, or we must develop. It's more important than a diet, than that magic ingredient you are sold that you're gonna live forever if you just eat these and stuff. It's practice, variety, making mistakes, making adjustments, perception of your own body. To me, it's also important that it's pleasant, tastes good. That's unnegotiable. And that's non-cruelty. These are values I carry. And I learned them through the Rose method. Therefore, I liked it and I decided to apply. And once you do, it's hard to go back. That awareness increases in all senses, not only in the nutrition aspect of it, but also in the purification. So you become sensible to toxins, and you understand the importance of reducing them to the minimal levels possible. That becomes part of the game as well. You're looking for nutrition, but also for purification. And in the beginning, it might be too much. So we have to start somewhere. Bring for the person who are there just eating what they're told, not even making the selection, or following the impulses, the propagandas that are there little by little. It's a lifetime process. We're always improving. Why not be improving the selection of your nutrition? What could bring you purification, and in my case, it's an opportunity for me to exercise my value of non-cruelty, no harming other individuals, other animals. And I was a fighter for many years, for over 20 years. There's a lot of weight cutting and fighting, and this could be done in so many different ways. It's it could be very heavy, very damaging to the body, to the glands, especially on women. Dehydration could be damaging short and long term. It could be done in a moderate way, where it could even be healthy. That's something else. But that's it. It's an introduction uh, to the subject of someone who tried out many diets, many nutrition systems since 14 years old. Now it's been like something like about 25 years on this journey, and this is my main take. Of course, this is it's just the beginning, but it's the basis for it, and I appreciate the discussion. So leave your opinion in the comments.